All right, in today's episode, we are going to be chatting about your dream life schedule. If you've been around here for a little while, you know that I am all about efficiency. I am all about time management, all of these things. And I just wanted to kind of share with you today some exercises that I do on an annual basis just to kind of touch base with what your ideal schedule would be in your dream life. When I was a teacher, I left teaching in 2021. Technically, I retired. I quit teaching in 2021. But when I was a teacher, I felt very frustrated by the fact that I didn't really have control over my time. Yes, teachers get summers off, but our day to day, we really have no control over the schedule that our class follows. We have to be at school at a certain time, and we can't leave until a certain time, which always frustrated me when I was super efficient and got everything done. And then I'm literally sitting there kind of twiddling my thumbs, waiting for that clock to strike 3:55 so I can go dive in at home and be present with my family. That always just frustrated me. That teacher down the hallway would, not have those same time management skills, and they would get to leave at the same time as me. I really took that to heart when I was thinking about sort of what my dream life would look like. And I knew that in my dream life, I would have a job that I would have more flexibility with. So every year, what I do is I ask myself the question, what would I have my schedule look like if I had complete control over it? I kind of wipe the slate clean, get out a new map book page, and brainstorm all the things. Like, how would I spend my time? Now, when I do this, I do keep my feet on the ground. So I keep in mind the number of hours that I need to work in a day. I keep in mind, just the maintenance of a house and a family. Like, I keep my feet on the ground. So obviously I'd love to spend my time on a beach by myself, hanging out. But that's not what this exercise is about. This is more about looking at your schedule, how it is. How would you ideally be spending it? When I was a teacher, my ideal schedule included not having to run out the door by 7 a.m. I still don't know how we did that. That was awful. But that was my goal. I didn't want to have to rush out the door. I wanted to be able to get my kids off the bus every day. That was very important to me. And something, honestly, I knew I would never be able to do as a teacher because I was still at school when my kids would be getting off the bus. And then finally, like I mentioned already, I really just wanted to be in control of my time. I even was willing to have my income be tied to my efficiency and my time management because I feel like those are strong skills of mine. And I think I would be up for the challenge of kind of marrying those two things together to help provide even better income for my family. So that was my dream life schedule back when I was teaching. So spoiler alert, that I am no longer teaching. I am my own boss. I'm recording this on a Friday morning. My dog is snoozing at my feet. If you can hear that right now, she's snoring away. And I am in control of my own time. And my time is being tied to my income. So content I can produce for my photography business, how many sessions I do, like those kinds of things. It happened. They're all related. When I created that dream life schedule, I had no idea how it was going to happen, but here we are. So like with everything, you always, once you hit one milestone, you're kind of always looking to the next one, right? So my dream life schedule now, when I went through this exercise recently, looks different than it did when I was a teacher. Right now, my dream schedule is to work really only 9 months out of the year. Right now, I'm pretty close to that, honestly. I work 10 months out of the year. I take July off and December off from my photography business. But I would love to be able to just take summers off with my family. My kids are still young, and I really just would love on the last day of school to be like, let's summer, people, and jump in and do that with them. That is a dream of mine. Not positive how that's going to happen because summer is a very busy season as a photographer. But it is on my radar as something I want. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will. Mark my words, it will. The other kind of aspect of a schedule that I aspire to is to not necessarily be tied to my computer. So with my coaching business, having some sort of team that I could count on so that I could be unplugged and things don't fall apart. Right now, I still very much need to be online, be available for my one-on-one clients and all of those things. And so ideally at some point, my schedule will be just a little more flexible on that end so that I really could unplug for, a week, 2 weeks at a time and things don't come collapsing down. And then finally, this is, I guess I kind of already mentioned this, but in my dream schedule, I'm also available on weekends for my family. Right now, again, as a photographer, weekends are when my clients want their sessions, and it's also when my family wants my attention. So feeling, always feeling a little torn about that and trying to strike a balance, which I have. But in my dream life, where there are no parameters, I would love to be able to spend weekends in the summer with my family. So take some time right now to think about what your dream life schedule would look like. Again, don't worry about the how right now. That is not part of the exercise. You are literally just going to brainstorm what that dream life schedule could possibly look like. And then you can start taking baby steps towards it. I started when I was still in the classroom, I started taking back some of my time. I began taking actual lunch breaks, which I had never done in 10 years of teaching. People were like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm taking a lunch break. It's a new thing. We get 25 minutes to ourselves. And they were like, what? Yeah. So you can maybe start to take some of those baby steps, but first you have to create that ideal schedule so you can figure out what those baby steps are. Then finally, start to look for opportunities to kind of make this dream life schedule come to life for you. What I mean by that is when I was teaching, I made this list of what my ideal schedule would look like. And then I don't even know how I found it, but there was like a job opportunity at a local library. It was part-time in the children's section, tapped a lot of my skill sets. And I was like, oh, could this be something that I transition to? Like, should I leave full-time teaching for this? It checks off a lot of my boxes as far as like working part-time, working less hours. But then it got held up with things like my income goals and also like weekends, like you had to work certain weekends or whatever. So I never ended up actually applying for that job. But if I hadn't created this list, I don't think I would have even thought about it. And then literally 6 months later, a part-time teaching job came up and I was like, ooh, I've sort of already started this mental process. And now the income goal is checked off. I still don't have flexibility, but like some of these things are falling into place. So I truly believe by doing this exercise, you are starting to kind of prime your brain, not to manifest sort of your ideal situation, but you're priming your brain to look for opportunities where you could possibly make your dream life schedule come to your actual life, which is exciting. All right, friends. So I hope you have subscribed so that you don't miss next week's episode. I have been getting a ton of inquiries for one-on-one strategy sessions. I had to close my doors because so many moms have been using the service, which I'm so excited about. So I will be reopening my doors for one-on-one strategy sessions in like mid-August 2023. But I thought it would be cool to share with you what a one-on-one strategy session actually looks like with a Dream Life designer. So if you are curious about that, be sure to tune in to next week's episode. I would love to see you there. And that's it for today. Don't forget, Mama, keep growing. Little eyes are watching, and I'll talk to you soon.